In this video, we're going to take a look at an FM bass that I've created in Serum. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Azzadous Studios. If you haven't already, please subscribe and ring the bell to keep up to date. Please like and share this video if you enjoy it. Let's crack on with Ableton. Okay, so what I've got here is an FM bass I've created in Serum. I've switched everything off, all the effects, and we're just going to start off with Oscillator A. As you can hear, it's not doing a right lot. What I've gone for is basic shapes, and I've gone for a triangle wave. I've took it down an octave. The wavetable position is just on 3, which is the triangle wave. The detune we've left completely off. The level is 75, which I believe is what it was on originally. Pan is on the center, and we're using FM from B. The random and phase I've tweaked, and I'm going to go into this a little bit later, as you can change the phase to get quite a different sound. So let's add Oscillator B. What I've done with Oscillator B is I've gone for the basic MG, which is in analog basic MG, plus 1 octave, and the level is completely down. So we're just using Oscillator B to feed into this into the warping for Oscillator A. So the setup for Oscillator B, I've got the detune off, no unison. The phase and random, I've got random completely down, and phase is on about 129, I think it was on 130, I think I've just knocked it. 129 is fine for now. And we're not using any warping for B, we're just using B to warp A. So I've got the wavetable position of B and the FM from B being affected by envelope 1. So let's set up the envelope. For envelope 1, we've got 16 milliseconds of attack. The hold is on 0.0 milliseconds. The decay is 1 second. Sustain is completely off. And the release is 193. You'll be able to tweak this if you want a bit more release on your sound. But I found it nice with the beat that we're using, about 193. So let's look at the modulation here. We're dragging the envelope over to FM from B, and we've got the FM from B set to 22% and the warp up to 22 as well. So you can hear how much it changes the sound. Too much and it destroys it. I find the sweet spot is sort of between 9 and 12. I think that's quite a common sweet spot as well. I find myself usually modulating the FM around this area. Leave it on that for now. So the wavetable position of B, this is also going to affect the sound of A quite a lot. So we've got it set to 57 and the modulation is 21. So you can hear that's making quite a difference as well. We've not got a lot of low end in this. So what I'm going to do is bring in the sub, which I've got on the last square wave, -1 octave and 65% volume. It's still not adding loads of, let's just switch this compressor off. That's just to sidechain from the beat. So still not getting a lot of low end, but it's adding some nice harmonics. It's getting a bit lower. What I'm going to do now is add the filter. I've got it on MG low 12. And what we're doing is cutting off quite a lot of that high end. So we've got the cut off on 83. and the modulation again is coming from envelope 1, and that's on 34. You could tweak this as much as you like. Again, it's going to give you quite a different sound. Feeding through the filter, we've got Oscillator A, B and the sub. Okay, so that's it for the front panel, I think. Move over to the effects. Quite a few effects on this one. Starting off with the hyper dimension. You can hear already when I switch that on. It's giving it quite a bit more width. So what I'm doing with this, I've got the rate on 40%, the detune on 25, the unisons on 4. The mix is completely down, but then we're bringing that up with, again, envelope 1 by up to 35%. You can get some really nice sounds by bringing it up further, but when I add the rest of the effects, it does ruin the sound a little bit if you've got too much. Right. So the distortion. What we've got is rectify. We're not using any of the filter. The drive is on 18, and again the mix is on 28 with a modulation of 37, which just pushes the rectify mix up a little bit, so we've got a bit more coming in when the main attack of the bass hits. So after this, I've put a compressor in just to bring out the sound. The threshold I've got on -37.1. The ratio I've got on 7:1. The attack is 43.2 or thereabouts. Just moved it, so we wanted quite a quick attack. The stock on this is 90 milliseconds, so 43.2, and the release is on 54.9. I brought the gain up to 13.1. So as I find when you're working with FM basses, and especially with triangle waves as well, they sound really quiet, so you need to sort of bring the sound up a little bit. I've left the mix for the compressor completely on 100%. So now what I've done is added an EQ to bring out the bass. So the bottom's on a shelf, which is at 160 Hz. The Q is on 821, and the gain is on 10.1. Then the top is just bringing out some of those mid highs. We've got it on just over 1K, 1.2K, 30% Q, and the gain is on 7.6. So I've gone quite extreme with this EQ, but I always find you can do when you're in when you sound designing rather than mixing and mastering. You can't really go too much with your EQ because you're just going to ruin your sound. I think with sound design you can really go to the extremes and some nice sounding sounds. Okay, so the last effect I've put on is a filter, and I've got that on MG Low 12 again. This is a secondary filter. We've got the first one here, and this is the second one. So the cutoff I've got on about 8K, 8170 Hz, and we're just rolling off some of the high end. Not a lot, but it does make a difference, because that's going to interfere with the high end on the drums or your other instruments, and it doesn't ruin the sound that much. You know, we're not taking off too much and losing the sound of the bass. All it's going to do is make it easier and make it blend better with the rest of your instruments and drums. So the res is completely down, drive's completely down, fat is completely down, pan is on the center, and the mix is on 100. Okay, so I mentioned the phase earlier, and what I've done is left the random down on both, and I'll show you now with this phase on Oscillator A. If I move it to about this area from up here, it'll make quite a difference, and it is quite a nice sound. So you could automate this. You could switch it up in different parts of your track. So if I bring it to about here, quite a nice. Quite a nice bass sound there. Let's say with a simple movement. You can make it sound completely different. So, thanks for watching. As usual, the resources are available on my Facebook page. Check the description below. If you haven't already, please subscribe and ring the bell to keep up to date with future updates. Please like and share this video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.